Could you first of all introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Dave from London.
From?
I'm the drummer in Blur, and it's very happy to be here.
Hey, new album coming out, right?
Absolutely right, spot on, 100%, which is indeed why I'm here to promote it.
When is it coming?
I have no idea.
Really? You should know.
Well, I've been in 6 countries in 2 days.
So you flew in yourself, you told me.
Yes, that's right.
You're lying.
Why?
No, really.
Yes. Oh, yes, multi-talented me.
How did you learn that?
How did I learn? You could have lessons. Lots of people do. Alex is a pilot as well.
Really?
He bought my old plane, yes.
In comes the coffee.
Here comes the coffee. Yes, flew into Schiphol. Very interesting.
And they allowed you to land.
Yeah, they're pro aviation here in Holland. They wouldn't allow you to land at Heathrow. Well, they've got a special runway, and as long as you know what you're doing and keep out of everybody's way, they're very happy.
And can you fly any plane or?
Well, they're all pretty much the basic controls are all pretty much the same. But any new plane you need to do training on, you can't get a course that covers all planes.
Hey, back to the album. The songs they run from really mellow to almost punkish, but still it sort of sounds like they belong together. How did you manage that?
We ladled huge oozing quantities of red hot skill all over it.
Where do you get that?
Tesco's, your local skill supermarket. I don't know. I think whatever we do is going to sound like us. But we're fortunate in that people don't expect all of our songs to sound the same. So, we get some leeway to indulge ourselves.
Yeah, you used to be known as a sort of poppy band, but still, there's always an age to what you're doing, right?
Well, we like to think so. That's certainly what we've been saying in interviews. Yes.
No, because I was wondering, how come you guys are still so people think Blur is a band that's popular with schoolgirls and stuff, but it's really loud and abrasive.
Yes, no, we like the schoolgirl angle. Keep on that one. That's what's keeping me awake. Yeah, schoolgirls.
Nah, come on, I'm just.
I think we pretty much left the schoolgirl thing behind. It did rear its
ugly head.
I was going to say ugly head, but not at all ugly head for a while. But it just seemed very inappropriate, and it's kind of around the time of Park Life, and suddenly we won lots of awards, and records were permanently in the charts, and we kind of got adopted by the English tabloid press as being, some kind of teen sensation, when the music we were making was, weird music about transvestites, and pretty odd stuff. And we were getting screamed at by, young girls. It just didn't seem to fit. It just seemed very odd.
It must have been a weird time for you.
Yeah, it was great for a year, but after that it really did start to get a pain in the arse, because people stopped noticing that we were, people started believing what they read in the papers and stopped taking any notice of what we were actually doing. We just, for all intents and purposes, turned into these cartoon versions of ourselves, where Alex was intelligent and liked cheese, and Graham was moody. It's just rubbish. It's just, it dehumanises you. As I say, it's great for a year, because the first thing that hits you is, I don't have to take any responsibility for anything now because I'm moody. I can be as much of a pain in the arse as I like because I'm moody. But after a while, it's like, come on, Graham, be moody. Go on, stop smiling, you're moody.
So how do you get along with the press right now?
All right, actually, I was just saying in my last interview, it's all going worryingly well at the moment. Worryingly well. Even people who've traditionally hated us and viewed everything we've done with suspicion have been lauding the album. Yeah, very worrying. So you know, the bigger the ups, the harder the bumps on the downs, definitely. And this is a big up. I mean, this is an up like we've never seen before.
Yeah, but maybe that's also because you've proven to be, be around for a long time now. It's not like you can't be discarded as a hype anymore after 10 years.
No, I don't think we ever were. I mean, this is 10 years now.
Yeah.
Probably the first album was, but hype wasn't a fashionable word then, so nobody really used the word hype. But the one example of pure hype that we were entirely responsible for, no one actually called hype, bizarrely. The Oasis releasing the single on the same day thing, for which we should have won an award, was pure hot air hype drivel. And no one ever called that hype. But then when we, put out some studied and heartfelt melodies on the last album, people yelled hype. Bizarre. That's the wild world of hype.
Hey, so how do you get along these days? I mean, you've been together for 10 years. Don't you ever get on the verge of killing each other?
Don't we have to what?
Don't you ever get on the verge of
Yeah, of course you do. But it's certainly, if nothing else, it teaches you to keep your head down, Absolutely. You don't get involved in arguments that don't affect you.
But I mean, that must be tough sometimes.
People. Yeah, it is tough. Absolutely. I mean, it's like it's like a marriage. Definitely. It's like adopting a new family. With all that entails.
And how do you work together? Has that changed over years?
How we work together? Yeah, I suppose it must have done. It's constantly changing, really. But more so now, we're starting to improvise a lot more. A lot of the things that we used to look down our noses at, such as musicians turning up at the studio and waiting for a vibe, waiting for the atmosphere to be right. We used to say in exactly that tone of voice, and now it's what we do.
Really? Did you write a great deal of this album in the studio?
Yes, a lot more than usual. Yeah. I mean, by writing in the studio, I mean improvised it on the spot. Yes.
And how did the recording go? Took you ages, or?
No, no matter how much we drag our heels, it always takes exactly the same amount of time to record an album. I don't know why it is. No matter how much or little work you do, it still takes you 3 months. I've no idea why. It's just some kind of magic. Sorry, am I kicking you at the moment?
All the time.
Sorry. The magic 3-month figure. I don't know why it is.
And how did you find your producer?
That was my mental noise for toss up between flippant answer and not flippant answer. He'd done some remixes for us in the past. That was all it was. And sometimes with remixes you get them back and you listen to it and you go, okay. And sometimes you get them back and you go, ah. And I think he'd done 3 remixes. So I'm doing it again.
No, now you're kicking the table.
Yeah, bloody table. And every time we got them back, you listen to them and you go, ah, he's had an idea. And that's, the best producer is somebody who has ideas, The producer really comes into their own when you spend a whole day on something and nothing has seemed to work, And what you need is somebody with another 10 ideas that you can try, And he is definitely a man of ideas, William.
Yeah, his price must have gone up since he did Madonna.
I don't know, I think we get a discount for doing a whole album in bulk. We signed him up for the next 30 albums, you see, so we got 10% off.
No, and since he did you, I guess.
Now you're talking. Yeah, I think he's retrospectively charged Madonna a bit more for the cachet of having done us. Madonna actually came down to the studio. It was very odd.
Really?
Yes. I'd like to say she came down to meet me, but she came down to meet William and talk about something about that. But it was kind of... She sent her goons down the day before and checked us all for weapons, and made sure we're not going to kill her. And then she came swanning in. And she learned an English swear word, you see.
Which one?
Wanker.
Wanker? She didn't know that one yet.
No, the Americans don't use it, you see.
Really?
No. They're not keen on masturbation at all, the Americans.
They're not?
They're not. I'm certainly not talking about it.
I didn't know that. What other swear words?
Well,
just British that they didn't know.
Oh, I don't know. But Americans never call each other a tosser or anything, or a wanker. Maybe it's a compliment. I don't know.
They call people assholes, stuff like that.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. They have a different thing going on. Hey,
swear on the Dutch radio.
Oh, that's no problem.
Fantastic. The only other place you can swear on the radio is Australia.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny. I didn't know that. Should go there sometime. We love to swear on the radio. So, hey, we're also gonna play.
Wonderful thing.
Huh?
It's a wonderful thing.
It is. I just lost track there. Oh yeah, we're gonna play some of your favorite songs.
Really?
Yeah. Tell me, what are they? Which one you want us to play?
No.
Yes.
No. What, off the album? Favourite songs ever?
Also, like off the album and favorite songs ever. Both.
Well, my favourite part of the album, and you're going to think I'm very awkward, but this is my favourite part of the album. You're not going to like it, but the favourite part of the album is what we tried to do with this record, or we did in fact end up doing, was had a tape machine running all the time. Because a lot of the time when you're in the studio and just bashing away and things are happening, little ideas come along and they just, things are going so fast they just get lost and never resurface and they're gone forever. So we had a machine rolling all the time, and at the end of the sessions we went back and sifted through all of the recordings and just fished out some of these little bits, little ideas and little things, little works in progress and ideas for songs that never were, and just kind of wove them in with the final actual tracks. And my favourite part of the album is one of those little woven bits, and it's only about 5 seconds long.
Which one?
It's just before, at least on my copy of the album, which I'm not sure is the final one, it's just before BLUREMI.
Where's that?
And it's just a little vocal thing.
I'm just checking the tracks.
Yeah. I might try and make that into something at some point.
I like those little pieces.
Yes, so do I. And it's just, it's those things tend to happen when you're sitting at your instrument or you're somewhere near an instrument somewhere and somebody in the studio's fiddling around with the electronics and they're going, just play something so I can hear what it's like through this box. And you've never heard the effect before or whatever it is, and some kind of echo, it's just gone on your instrument and the tape isn't rolling, so you think, so there's no pressure on you to do anything good at all, so it's just your unconscious, it's pure musicianship, and if it's bollocks, it doesn't matter. And you can swear on the radio, and if it's absolutely fantastic, well, it doesn't matter either, because they're lost forever anyway. And so I don't know, it's interesting listening back through all that stuff. Thank God I didn't have to listen back through all that stuff, but some of these things are just kind of, I don't know, just moments of genius and the moments of madness. But it's just kind of pure musicianship.
Hey, in complete tracks, what are your favourite ones?
Complete tracks? Let's have a look at a track listing.
Yep.
Trim Trab, I think, is we've tried to do. We've never quite managed to get a song like that to work before. We've gone some steps down that road of kind of building and building and building and building and building, and when you think there's nowhere left to build to, building some more. And so that's very, very satisfying to have got that sussed. Bugman I like, but it's the from the drums wise, most of that was from the original demos that we did in our little Studio 13. Basically, we just sat up there for a week with William, the producer, when we first met him, and just started the tape to see what had happened. And a lot of that stuff ended up on the. A lot of that stuff was the best stuff of the sessions actually, and formed the basis of all the tracks. And Bugman, we just took 2 or 3 rhythms from something else and messed around with them and turned them into the drum track for that. How many do you want?
Oh, that's okay. We'll play most of it anyway, but...
Okay. And the rest I like as well. The next track I like because it's good.
Hey, and songs by other artists. Your all-time favourites.
My all-time favourites? My God. Well, can I have The Great Gates of Kiev from Mussorgsky's Pictures and Exhibition?
Ooh, I wish. No.
Can't I?
No. That's mean.
Can I have the very last part of Camille Saint-Saëns' Organ Symphony No. 1?
Oh, you're making this difficult on me.
Go on, give you a fucking...
It's a pop station.
Give them something else to listen to.
Yeah.
They're tired of dreary old pop music.
Oh, come on. What did you listen to when you were like 15 or whatever?
Well, my parents were 60s kids, so the pop records were the kind of, Beatles, Stones, Cream, Hendrix, So that's, I suppose, that when I was just discovering records, that was the stuff I was playing. Hard Day's Night. Hard Day's Night was, to my eternal shame, my favourite Beatles album.
And now?
And now it's Rubber Soul. But, so yes, I suppose that was what I grew up listening to. I suppose Ginger Baker, what did they have? I can't remember what was on, whether it was the A-side or whether something else was on the A-side, but Strange Brew, Cream single, I played over and over and over until it completely wore the groove out. It was amazing. Because, I don't know, I didn't appreciate Ringo at the time. I thought it was a bit of a waste of space. How I see the error of my ways now.
Do you think the 90s are a better time for music than the 80s?
The 90s and the 80s? Yeah, I know, the 80s. Ugh. I hated the 80s at the time. Was I alone? I'm going to start a club for people who lived through the 80s and hated it. Because there's this horrible 80s nostalgia now. Where the hell did that come from? There are 80s bars in London. There's pubs that play 80s music.
Human League all night long.
Yeah, Dead or Alive. Awful. Awful, 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 awful.
Okay, we won't put you through that. Hey, do you think things have gotten better for you these past few years? Now the whole hassle, with the press and Oasis type. Yeah, didn't do us any harm when all that died down. I mean, that whole time didn't do us any harm. Didn't do Oasis any harm either. It took us both up to the next level. Did you really hate them, actually?
Oh, I don't hate anyone.
It's a waste of time.
Well, I don't know. You look back through all the press cuttings and try and find a quote of me slagging off Oasis.
Well, I don't look through those kind of press cuttings anyway, so... Hey,
challenge anyone to find.
Yeah, exactly. I was wondering about the album. Who does your artwork?
Well, this album, it was Graham. Previous albums, it's been different people, but this album, it's been Graham's baby.
Really?
Really?
So there's like a lot of What other projects do you do?
All sorts.
You have time for that?
For other projects?
Yeah.
Yeah, we decided we needed a break from each other last year, so we had 6 months of the year off. And all these little bubbling things that are going on in the back of your mind, you know, all these little projects that everybody wants to do, we all found that we had time for, and it was absolutely amazing. So I got stuck into my animation, Graham got stuck into his music, Alex to his music, and David to his music.
Hey, how did you end up on the South Park soundtrack?
We didn't.
You didn't?
They asked us to, so we made them this nice little left field. So we didn't.
They didn't put it on.
No, the South Park was not out at the time. Mm-hmm. It was just about to be broadcast. So they sent us a couple of videos, and the theme music was by this band called Primus. You know, very interesting American weirdos. Oh, really?
Yeah.
You get this conversation?
No, I get beep, beep, beep. Oh.
Yes, anyway, American weirdos, very interesting. So we thought, they must want a kind of, you know, bizarre, weird track. So that's good, because we like bizarre, weird tracks, so we did them a little, you know, strange thing that keeps shifting and there's never quite sure where it is. But no, they wanted a comedy record. They didn't tell us they wanted a comedy record.
Like the Ween song.
Yes.
Did you hear that one?
No.
It's funny.
Well, we'd be very happy to do them a comedy record. They only had to say.
But you like that stuff, South Park?
Yeah, you know, it's kind of not too taxing.
What else do you like?
Well, I don't know. Simpsons I like. Tom and Jerry. Bugs Bunny.
Ren and Stimpy, you like?
Ren and Stimpy. I can't watch too much of Ren and Stimpy though. It's drawn so madly. It kind of gives you a headache after a while. It is good though. You just can't keep up with it. So it's constantly shifting. It's joke after joke after joke after joke after joke. It's just very, very, very clever. But it's art. It's not comedy. I think I've decided. So if it was comedy, they'd slow it down a bit and give you a chance to laugh. It's just like bombards you with all this stuff.
Hey, do you have any idea what you'd be doing if you weren't making music?
I don't. There's never been a time when I haven't been making music, really, since the age of 9 or 8.
Really? So you have no idea?
I had no idea. I've always been doing lots of other things simultaneously, and I've done pretty much all of them as a living at one time or another. I happen to be doing this one for a living at the moment. I'm sure there'll be a time when I won't.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have any idea what you'll be doing next then?
Well, I don't know. It's probably animating, I expect.
I haven't seen any of his stuff.
Really? That's because I haven't shown you any.
Pfui.
I did a little insert for MTV last year, but I don't get MTV, so I have no idea if they played it or not.
And nobody in Britain gets MTV.
They must have played it because they sent me a check. So they have played it. I don't know. Nobody seems to have seen it. Nobody really watches MTV these days. So it's not very much music on it anymore. What there is kind of teenage girl music. It's kind of turned into quizzes and talk shows and things, isn't it?
Yeah, we don't have it anymore in Amsterdam. No MTV. I was wondering, how are you guys doing in the US now?
I have no idea. We're going there at the end of the month, so we should find out.
Yeah, because I always thought you had a sort of steady fan base there. Not really huge, but...
It's a grower. Oh, we've played bigger audiences every time we've gone. But we've gone twice a year for 10 years now, so... we're playing pretty big places in New York and LA and Chicago and stuff.
What's your favourite place when you go touring?
To go to?
Yeah.
Oh, New York. capital city of the world.
You like touring at all?
No. I like performing, I like playing live. But touring is a different thing altogether. Touring is getting up after 4 hours sleep for 3 months, having 4 hours sleep a night for 3 months, feeling awful the entire time. Playing live, though, we're trying to play live without touring. Mm-hmm. Now, we've announced that we're giving up touring, but we still want to play live. So we're doing things like this, so whack your microphone.
You kick me, you whack my mic. Thanks. You swear.
Violence round trip. Yes, we're doing a small show here this evening for a select group of people. But it's going out on the TV and the radio, so we get to play to all those people that normally would have meant staying here for 3 weeks, playing every night.
So you like doing it that way?
I don't know. It's playing Wembley definitely has its appeal. It's just a shame that when you play Wembley, you have to play another 3 months of dates before it. There must be some way around that.
So you only do Wembley next?
You can't do that, though. Can't do that. You'd go bankrupt.
And you have to do press. That's another nag of being in a band, right?
Yeah, you don't know what it's like. Yeah, things you put.
Hell.
If only you knew the trouble I have.
But I mean, do you hate that, or it's just part of it?
Some days you hate it, and some days it's all right. It entirely depends on the people.
Beats working in a factory, I guess.
It's a word. Beats working in some factories, and doesn't beat working in diamond factories. If you're no, I don't know. I can't take that any further. Yes, it probably does beat working in a factory.
Okay, I think they're kicking. I had to stop. Yeah. The guys probably have to go.